I've been foiling for 3 years now, and I basically stopped winging. Here are my 7 reasons why I don't wing anymore.
Welcome to Matt on Foil.
If you want to win that wing, make sure to stick around, because at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how you can get that wing for Christmas. I started foiling about 3 years ago, and honestly, my gear is a bit outdated. It is on the heavier side. The soft handles are not the best for control, but it still works. And honestly, the 7 meter I have here got me on foil where I wasn't able to get on foil with a 5 meter. So that works quite well. If the wind is that low that I need a 7 meter, I just don't go on the water anymore, or I go pump foiling. So I don't really use that 7 meter anymore. That's why I'm giving it away. I've used a wing this spring, and it was amazing because it was super light and really cool to ride, but the price is pretty high. So for a new wing, I would have to pay maybe $1,200–1,500 bucks. So that's a lot of money, and that's why I won't invest anymore. And then of course, one is not enough. You need maybe a 3 or 3.5, maybe a 5 or a 6 meter. So that's 2 or 3 wings, and that's a lot of money. That's why I'm just not doing it. If you're asking yourself, why is he on the roof? That's a good question. It's just I don't have enough space in the house or in the garden because it's a huge wing. Another reason is the pumping. You always need a pump. You always need to bring a big backpack with 1 or 2 wings. And honestly, if I go on vacation and the car is already full with all my surfing foiling gear, yeah, my kids have toys as well they want to bring. So the wings take up a lot more space than other material. That's why I just don't bring them anymore. Look, this handle here, the freefly handle, is super important, and it got me into the first waves. I first was able to surf some couple of bumps, and it was amazing. But if you compare it to other foiling sports, things that I'm doing now, it's just not good enough because it's always in your way. You have to do handle passes. Sometimes it even blows it on you when you're just surfing down a wave. So really, it's not super comfortable. And also, when I wing and I try to surf the wave, the problem is also that I always go back too fast. So if I'm surfing the wave and feel like, ooh, it's gonna get slower, I need to pump or get to the next section, then I'm just grabbing the wing. And for me, that's kind of cheating, and I'm not really learning to read the bumps. Look, it is super cool that these things float. And those bladders are sometimes even lifesavers if you lose your board, for example, and you need something to hold on to. But let's be honest, the foils are basically daggers, and those with something sharp is just not a good combo. So if you break your bladder, yes, you might repair it, but depending on where it is, it's just not possible. So these things, even though they're built pretty well, you can break it pretty quickly. Look, let's be honest, I'm not the best winger, not at all. But I get my jibes in. Sometimes I even get my tacks in. I'm not getting into jumping, I'm too old for that. But sometimes it gets a little boring, I must say. Yes, you could go faster, but you wouldn't do that with a wing, you would do that with another foil, right? So why invest in another wing to go faster? I just don't see a point. Do you see it? If you think you should keep on winging, then please let me know in the comments, and please tell me why. This year, I've been winging twice. Once was because there's too much wind for para-winging, and the only possibility to get back upwind was with a wing, and I enjoyed it actually. And the other time was in Selva Plana, where there was just not enough wind to para-wing, but there was too much wind to pump, so I used the wing, and that was quite fun. So if I just do it twice a year, then it becomes a novelty again, and that's actually the only time where I think it is okay. So if I just get rid of these things and then come back maybe in 2 years, it's gonna be a novelty again. I have to relearn stuff, and the learning journey for me is something super important. So I think if I just put it away and come back later, that will be something. So let's just get rid of all the wings, right? No, I'm gonna keep my 5 and my 3.5 just for my kids, because if they want to get into foiling, I still think winging is the easiest way to get on foil.
So what to do now? Just pump foiling? No. This time, it's all pair wing, baby.
Let me tell you how you can actually win this wing. It's a Gong Droid 7 meter. As I said, it's a little older, but for you heavier guys, or just people who are in that area where the wind is just not strong enough, this actually works. So how you can win it is by liking, by subscribing, and by commenting why you need this wing. If you do all these 3 things, I'm gonna pick you on the 6th of December, and I even cover shipping. What the hell?